Welcome back, creatures of the night, to another storm from Tales and Thrills. Tonight, we're channeling the raw chaos of Dead Meat Podcast episode 252, Lightning Round Movie Reviews 3, where horror meets humor and fear meets fascination. So tighten your grip on that popcorn because we're re-racing through 10 films that dare to remind us why we love being afraid. Let's strike lightning. The night begins in the frozen wilderness of Until Dawn, a story born from one of the most immersive horror games ever made. 8 friends, a mountain retreat, and a choice system that ensures every wrong decision could be their last. The movie adaptation captures that spirit of consequence, where one scream can echo into a domino effect of death. It's less about monsters and more about human error, how guilt, hesitation, and fear kill faster than any creature. One character hesitates, another slips, and fate writes the rest in blood on snow. The horror lies not in the jump scares, but in realizing that every mistake is permanent. It's a game turned nightmare, and every choice feels like a countdown. Until Dawn earns its place as a meta-slasher that understands how fragile survival can be. 7.5 out of 10 for atmosphere, tension, and that creeping sense of helplessness. Now the wind shifts, and the scent of inevitability rolls in. Final Destination, Bloodlines resurrects one of horror's most consistent formulas, the beautiful ballet of death's design. This time, new faces meet old patterns, and we get that perfect blend of elaborate setups and grim punchlines. A spilled drink here, a loose bolt there, a chain of accidents that feels so absurdly possible it almost becomes comedy. You don't watch this one to see if someone dies, you watch to see how. And death never disappoints. The suspense isn't in survival, but in prediction, guessing which unlucky soul will trigger the next catastrophe. It's a twisted riddle of timing, cause, and effect. Even when it reuses some tricks, it still delivers a sharp thrill. Call it 6.5 out of 10, because death doesn't need originality to entertain. The storm grows quiet now. Bring Her Back slips in like a whisper from beyond the grave. This one is slower, sadder. A film drenched in grief and desperation. A man loses the person he loves and decides that love alone is reason enough to tamper with the laws of life and death. What returns isn't her, it's something wearing her shape. The story unfolds like a nightmare you can't wake from, where every glance feels off, every word feels borrowed. The kills here aren't bloody, they're emotional. People don't die from violence, they die from hope. There's something beautiful in that kind of horror, where the fear isn't of dying, but of what you'd give to undo it. Bring Her Back leaves a mark, the kind of ache that lingers long after the credits fade. A solid 7 out of 10 for atmosphere, heart, and sorrow that cuts deeper than any knife. And then, out of the silence, comes the polished hum of circuits and code. Megan 2.0 struts onto the stage, half toy, half terror, all attitude. The killer doll returns, upgraded, unfiltered, and even more disturbingly human. Megan's charm is her calm, the way she can smile sweetly while deleting you from existence. Every kill is a lesson in control. No rage, no mess, just calculated precision. The film is darkly funny, using satire and silicon to explore what happens when humanity teaches machines how to love, lie, and lash out. Megan sings, dances, and murders with equal grace, making her one of horror's most strangely lovable villains. It's part slasher, part tech warning, part black comedy. Megan 2.0 scores 7.8 out of 10 for making artificial intelligence look almost too believable. But now the lights go red, the air fills with sirens, and the infection spreads again. 28 years later pulls us back into the world of rage. Fast zombies, faster fear, and a society long past saving. The film expands on the mythos with apocalyptic scale. The streets are empty, the sky's ash gray, and what's left of humanity is more dangerous than the infected. Every kill feels raw and desperate. People don't fight for survival anymore, they fight out of habit. The camera work is shaky, chaotic, intimate. It's horror that makes you taste the dust, hear the screams, and feel the exhaustion. By the end, you're left breathless, wondering if there's anything left worth saving. It's visceral, tragic, and all too believable. 8 out of 10 for capturing the beauty in humanity's final collapse. The thunder rolls back with nostalgia as we revisit I Know What You Did Last Summer. The reboot plays the familiar tune, a terrible accident, a guilty secret, and a killer who knows the truth. But this time, the horror feels modern, digital, updated for an age where secrets are impossible to keep. The fisherman's hook gleams under neon lights, and revenge comes with an Instagram filter. It's classic slasher comfort food, predictable but delicious. The kills are clever, the tension builds steadily, and the final chase hits that sweet spot between fun and fear. It may not revolutionize anything, but it reminds us why we fell in love with masked killers in the first place. Nostalgia has never looked so sharp. 8 out of 10 for a throwback done right. The storm breaks into a whisper again with Together, a quiet horror about love turning toxic. Two lovers, a remote cabin, and the realization that devotion can decay into dread. The film traps us in their intimacy, forcing us to watch affection unravel thread by thread. A conversation becomes an argument becomes suspicion, and suspicion becomes fear. There's one scene, a reflection, one face smiling while the other cries, that chills more than any ghost could. Together is about emotional death, the slow suffocation of trust. It's beautiful and terrible all at once. 7.9 out of 10 for its courage to show horror without blood. Then comes Him, a story soaked in obsession. Love, control, and madness intertwine until you can't tell them apart. The film's world feels claustrophobic, the kind of movie where every scene feels like it's closing in on you. You can sense something wrong long before it happens. A dinner scene stretches into eternity, the silence deafening. When the truth finally breaks, it's not a scream, it's a sigh, a quiet collapse of everything human. Him is haunting because it feels real. The monster isn't supernatural, it's emotional manipulation, the kind that destroys without touching. It's elegant, patient horror. 8.2 out of 10 for being uncomfortably human. Suddenly everything goes loud. The toxic Avenger bursts in like a radioactive riot, breaking all the rules we've been following. It's grotesque, absurd, unapologetically insane, and that's exactly why it works. There's no subtlety here. It's a carnival of gore, a mutant's revenge fantasy wrapped in slime and satire. Beneath the filth lies a twisted morality, justice for the outcasts, punishment for the cruel, chaos for everyone else. Every death is a cartoonish spectacle, a reminder that horror can be stupid, joyful, and wildly entertaining. You laugh, you cringe, you cheer. It's camp art at its finest. 7.7 out of 10 for being gloriously disgusting. And finally, we descend into darkness with red rooms. No monsters, no curses, just human evil hiding in the digital abyss. It's horror that doesn't scream. It hums. The story follows a woman obsessed with an online murder case, diving deeper into the underworld of voyeurism and moral decay. The scariest part? We've all seen this corner of the internet, even if we pretend we haven't. The film weaponizes imagination, never showing the violence, only letting us fill in the blanks. By the end, you're not sure who's guilty anymore, the killer, the viewer, or the curiosity that brought you here. Red Rooms ends not with a bang, but with a quiet reflection on a computer screen. A tear, a click, a silence that says everything. It's haunting, intelligent, and terrifyingly real. 8.5 out of 10, easily one of the best. And just like that, the lightning fades, leaving us in the echo of 10 different nightmares. Until dawn reminded us how choice can kill. Final Destination proved that fate never forgets. Bring Her Back broke our hearts. Megan 2.0 made us laugh and flinch. 28 years later screamed apocalypse. I know what you did. Last summer gave us nostalgic blood. Together whispered pain. Him whispered obsession. The Toxic Avenger made us laugh through the slime. And Red Rooms left us staring at the dark reflection of ourselves. Each film, different flavor of fear. Each story, another reason horror still rules. Because in every decade, in every form, we keep returning to the same truth. Fear is the oldest story we tell, and we'll never stop telling it. So until the next storm, keep your lights low and your curiosity high. Because here at Tales and Thrills, we don't just watch horror, we live it.